Hello there, family. I didn't see you there. And welcome to another edition of Midweek Moment with the Crenshaws.
Yes.
I am Sanchez Crenshaw, and I am joined by my best friend, my BFF, my bestie, my deuce and a quarter.
Deuce and a quarter. What's going?
You gonna say your name?
I never know when you really. Okay. Anyway, I don't really know where you're ever really.
I looked at you and I wasn't talking.
Just forget it. What's going on, family? What is going on? This is Angela Crenshaw, family.
That's my wife,
What
family.
is going on?
That's my wife, family.
How y'all doing out there?
What up, babe?
What's going on? Well, first of all, you okay? Because I know it's rain all week. You look like you need a pep in your step right now.
Nah, I'm good, man.
Your vocals. It's a rainy Wednesday.
It's a rainy Wednesday.
Rainy Wednesday.
It's been a rainy every day.
Yes, it has.
So not quite sure what part of the world you're in, but in our part of the world, the sky opened up about 2 weeks ago and it hasn't closed yet.
Yes.
So we are in the southern part of the United States. However, if you're familiar with like the Pacific Northwest or like London, that's how we feel right now.
That's how we feel right now. It's dark.
Because it's just dark.
Every day.
It's gloomy. I haven't seen the sun. I feel like a vampire. I haven't seen the sun in about 14 days.
Baby, it's been 14 days.
That's how it feels. I feel like I haven't seen the sun in 14 days.
And we got to be careful with that because it'll make you feel like blah.
It really will.
Yeah,
it really will.
It will make you feel blah.
It's crazy.
You don't even know why.
Yeah, it's crazy how that happens, how really the environment really can play into how you feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's really, there's nothing, I mean, outside of globally, but as far as personal, there's really nothing going on. Personally, you know, everything is everything, but with the weather, it's like, yeah. It's a good word.
I like it. Because I can hear it in your voice.
Yeah, so I'm going to
do it in your spirit, man.
I'm going to do better, though.
Spirit man
I'm going to do better.
Get your spirit man together.
Family. So who's new to the journey, first of all, thank you. Thank you for being a
guys.
part of what we're doing. However you're listening to us, whether it be through iTunes, whether it's Spotify, whether it's Podbean, whether it's Google Play Music, or if you found us on our website at www.thecrenshawcorner.com. Once again, www.thecrenshawcorner.com. We welcome you. And for our returning family members who are just glutton for punishment,
we really love you.
We truly love you, and thank you guys for being a part of our journey.
Right.
We thank you for sticking in there with us.
Thank you.
We consider ourselves an interactive podcast. Simply what that means is that you can find us on the socials.
Come on, socials.
We're on Instagram. We're on Twitter. We're on Facebook. All under Crenshaw Corner. And then
you gave me a look that you had to think. You okay? You had to think about that?
No, I'm good, though.
Okay, go ahead. Carry on.
So all under Crenshaw Corner.
Okay.
And then also, you can email us at thecrenshawcorner@gmail.com.
I like you, the.
Once again, thecrenshawcorner@gmail.com. So, babe, we got the housekeeping out the way.
Yes.
That's all said and good. I noticed once you sit down, you had gave me that look. Like,
got something for you.
You got something on your mind.
I got something on mind.
What you got, babe?
I was just... You know, we had E-Group, which is like a bunch of our married couple friends get together on Zoom.
Yes.
Come on in, Zoom-a-loom. What?
Zoom-a-loom.
Come on in, Zoom-a-loom. Come on in, Zoom. What is that from?
I don't know. That's not
Don't
my generation.
play with me. Don't play. You do know.
That's not my generation. I don't know.
You do know.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, you want to play?
That's not my generation. I don't know
wanna
what
play
that is.
now?
I've never heard that before in my life. I feel like you're making up words right now.
I'm not.
I don't know
you know
what that is.
exactly what it is.
I have no idea.
Okay, family, y'all remember that. But anyway,
that's not my generation.
It is. How you know it's a generation? If you don't know what it is, then what do you? See, you be trying to play me on this mic.
I know it's from my generation. I know it's from my generation.
Zoom is that from you?
Zoom alone. That's not from my generation.
Anyway,
so, I don't know. You Anywho, what's up?
How about just a bill? I'm just a bill.
I don't. No, I saw that in like a history class.
Really?
One time, like my teacher had My teacher had showed me like some old stuff one time in history. And I remember that something like
it's a hater.
Like today I'm a bill, something.
Right, you know it.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, don't play with me.
I think it was like ancient history. I remember that. Yeah. We studied that.
We so far off what we're supposed to be talking about.
Time of the dinosaurs. I remember that.
If you hear some ruffling, it's him falling to the ground, everybody.
Because you violent.
Yeah, whatever you want to say. So listen,
What's
we
up?
were all talking about everything, and I thought about this once we kind of like got off the Zoom or whatever.
Right.
And I wanted to ask, I was like, I wonder have I changed? What have you found out about yourself since quarantine?
what have I found out about myself?
What have you learned about yourself?
What have I learned about myself during the time of quarantine?
You need me to say it. Why you keep repeating it?
Because I'm meditating. I'm meditating on the question. I want to make
Okay.
sure that I want to make sure it's a full body question. So I
What?
want to make sure that I'm twirling it around to get the full aroma out of it, so I can get the full body of the question.
Okay, wait. I gotta stop you. Okay,
What's up?
okay, guys. If anybody know and been listening, we are not drinkers.
No,
I
we're
don't
not.
drink at all. Sanchez wants to always partake in some wine or whatever
I'm saying,
once a
wine
year.
is of the Lord. Wine is
But
of
of
the
course,
Lord.
I don't believe in it. I don't subscribe to it. So we fight about this. He's like, baby, I'm not gonna be unto drunkard. But he likes wine. I don't. So he's taking me to vineyards and stuff like that. But anyway, so all these had, because I gotta tell them. So all
He's talking about the mimosas.
So all these had pineapple mimosas. So I was so excited. I was like, you know what? He always want to do new stuff or whatever. I'm gonna try to come aboard. So I went and tried to get the punkest thing I could find because that's what they told me, that mimosas is not really
The lightest liquor you can get.
yeah. So I said, let me try, because I just don't drink. And so I was like with my husband, and he always, and I think it would be cute to have for dinner, whatever. It's not a lot. People told me, girl, please, not real alcohol, blah, 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 blah. Okay, people. So they did not have the pineapple,
They did not have the pineapple.
but they had orange.
They had a really nice orange mimosa.
Orange. So I surprised him and I brought it home. But I said I don't really want that for dinner. Really don't want to drink this, but I did it for him or whatever. So he was like, well, baby, you got it. Try it.
Take a sip.
Take a sip. People.
How did that go for you?
First of all, I'm not exaggerating. He can tell the truth. I felt like my chest was burning.
Off a sip.
I felt like my whole
Family,
chest.
understand? I gave her a small glass. It wasn't even a shot. She took like a half a tablespoon
Maybe a slurp.
sip. And this woman looked me in my eyes, talking about my chest burning.
My chest was burning, guys. It was burning. So he trying to read how much alcohol. Wasn't really that much alcohol in it. But my chest was burning. And I felt like, and he don't believe me, I felt like I woke up the next morning with a hangover.
This is
He
family. This is what I'm dealing with.
He just
Family,
was like,
understand.
baby,
Pray
there's
my
no
strength.
way. There's no way, baby.
Family, pray my strength in the Lord, because this is what I'm dealing with. Once again, off a half a sip of basically juice. She talking about she woke up with a hangover.
I woke up with a hangover. So yeah, but I just had to
Anyway.
get that part.
But anyway,
Anywho,
as my wife
but go
would say,
ahead.
anyway.
Go ahead.
So what have I learned about myself during
Yes.
the time of quarantine? Actually, what I've learned, the biggest thing that I've learned
Mm-hmm.
is that I am not relaxed. That's the biggest thing I've learned.
What do you mean? Like,
That I don't know how to relax.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to not do something. Okay, so for those who don't know, so during the time of quarantine, as far as professionally, I was working for the first part of quarantine, but then my job, because of the type of job that I do, we were truly affected by the global shutdown. And for us, because professionally, I'm in sports. What I do is in sports. And so my job, once all global sports stopped, my job kind of stopped as well. So I went on furlough. So I haven't been working for quite some time during quarantine. And it's funny because out of all the stuff that happened, it's crazy because God gives you what you need, not necessarily what you want, but what you need.
right? Absolutely.
Because for the last 8 years,
You have
I've
not-
been going strong
and have
for the
not
last
rested.
8 years.
Have not rested.
I'm the type of person, I really don't do vacations.
Gotta beg him.
Yeah, I really don't do vacations. I really don't take time off. I'm not proud of, but I'm the type of person that I go to work sick, and it's my boss has to force me to come back home.
Yeah, he's that dude that you don't like at work where you be like, dang, I only got 3 more sick days and like 4 more vacation. He the dude that got like 60 sick days and 1,742 vacation
Yeah,
days.
I carry over.
I carry
I carry over PTO days every year.
Oh,
So,
big
yeah,
numbers,
I
y'all.
carry
It's
them over every year.
ridiculous. But anyway, not
So-
me. Not me.
But what I realized is that for me, my mind is always going, and my body always. Physically, I always feel like I'm going somewhere. I don't know if it's kind of hard to explain. I don't know if you ever felt that way, but have you ever felt like even when you're sitting still, you're moving?
Yeah, I think it kind of reminds me of when we go home to New York. We do that pace. We
Yeah.
do that fast walk pace.
That New York pace.
And we get that pace going. And then when we come back, they're not doing that here in Charlotte.
And you're still in that mindset.
But I'm still in that mindset. So
Yeah.
I'm still walking in the supermarket. People look at me like, but what is, like I'm always in a rush until I realize, hey, calm it down now. You don't have to do
Yeah,
it.
and what I
Yeah.
realized about myself during the kind of time of quarantine is that even if I don't have anything in particular I have to do, my body feels like it's doing something. It has to be doing something. And what I realize is that I don't rest. I haven't figured out a way to rest my body.
Right.
So I've gotten a little better.
Yeah, because you've been sleeping before you didn't even sleep.
Yeah, let you behind the curtain a little bit. So typically for me, so my night normally ends roughly about 2:30ish. Normally.
Yeah.
It's when I finally go to sleep.
Be back up by
and
5:30.
then I'm typically back up by 5:30,
Don't make a
6
difference.
o'clock. And then so I'm going all day. But now during quarantine, I'm in bed by like midnight now.
And you
Which is for me is a big thing.
And you normally get up about 7 or 8.
Yeah, I normally get about
that's
7
really
or 8.
good
So I'm
for
sleeping in.
You sleep. Look at you sleeping
I'm
in.
sleeping in.
Sleeping in for 3
into
hours.
about sleeping into about 7:45, 8 o'clock. I'm
Yeah.
lazy now. I just slept in.
He didn't sleep. And then what we had to do for him, because he's so out of control, we had to get the blackout curtains.
Blackout curtains.
And which work amazing.
Yeah, they really do.
Our daughter came home just recently.
She called us vampires.
She was like, okay, why I feel like I'm in somebody's vampire room? Because them blackout curtains are good even at 1 o'clock.
So that's what one of the biggest thing I learned about myself is that I don't know how to stop. And I know that may sound crazy to some people, but like I said,
I think there's a lot of people out there in the family that's like that, though.
I don't know how to stop. I don't know how to be.
Right.
Sometimes, was it to be or not to be? Shakespeare, to be or not to be, that is the question.
Right.
I don't know how to be.
Right.
I don't know how to be still in the moment.
Right.
And that's one thing I love about you. And we've touched on this before in previous podcasts, with your meditation. That's why I personally have such an issue with meditation. And honestly, sometimes that's why I have such an issue with prayer sometimes. I can pray. I love to pray. But sometimes if I go too long, it's hard for me because my mind starts to travel. I start to go different places. And like with meditation, when I sit there and I'm humming and I'm doing the chanting.
But you don't have to hum and chant. That's your thought process.
And we doing the incense and we got the bells on our fingers. And we chiming.
We have incense, but we ain't got no bells. Please don't listen to this man.
And we like the Hare Krishnas in the airport. You
No,
guys,
we are
family,
not.
remember the Hare Krishnas? So we like the Hare Krishnas in the airport, and we getting our
We are not doing that,
and we
people.
getting that on, and it's hard for me. Like you got me for a good 30 seconds. I'm good. 30 seconds, I'm there. I'm humming. I'm chanting. I'm there.
But you're not there. Even in that 30 seconds,
Yeah, I'm
I
really
can
not.
look at you.
And I'm not there.
Because I always open my eyes, be like, this dude ain't bit more there. But I keep telling you, well, I kind of beg to differ about something you said. In the beginning
What you begging to differ
I
about?
beg to differ. In the beginning of it, like, you couldn't relax. In the middle of it, you did. You got really, really good at it.
Yeah.
And then for some reason, if your mind realized you was relaxing
Yeah,
and went back to the beginning.
It sped up again.
It sped up again. Because
sped up
at one
again.
point you were doing so good. I was he's sleeping. Oh my God, he's relaxing. Oh my God, he got his feet up. Oh my God. And then something happened.
Yeah. So now I'm cleaning the house every day. I'm doing laundry every day.
Last night, 11:30, he was vacuuming.
11:30 at night, I'm vacuuming. It was one spot on the carpet. I vacuumed the
The
whole
whole
house.
house.
Because
It's not that I don't appreciate you at
Yeah.
this stage of the game, but I'm just saying.
yeah, so I don't know what happened. So once again, going back to your initial question though, that's the biggest thing I've learned about me during quarantine is that I don't know how to be. I have not figured out at this moment. I'm not saying I don't know, but I haven't figured out at this moment how to just be in the moment because either my mind is in the past or my mind is in the future. But being in that, actually in the 20 years that we've been married, I think I've only been once.
No, I beg to differ again.
What was the other time?
I watch you be now that you have a grandchild.
Yes.
When you're babysitting him, because he babysits, because I
babysit.
can't.
I take care of. There's a difference.
Oh my God,
That's
she's taking
that's
care
my
of his
dude.
grandbaby.
That's my baby.
And I can't unfortunately because I'm working, so someone's hogging up all the time with my grandson.
Hey, that's personal decisions.
But any
that's life choices you made.
I'm quitting them all. Then I'm
I'm
gonna
just
quit
saying
them all.
that's life choices you made. I can't do nothing about that.
But what I realized is that when I watch you with him, like when you send me videos or you with him, there's a different look on your face. There's a different piece that's on your face, and you're literally so in tune. And normally, because you're praying over him and you're talking to him and all that stuff, but that is the greatest. And all of our time of being married, there are certain instances where the kids graduated from high school, or something, or graduated from college. I saw you have that thing, but you really got that thing with this little boy.
I was teaching him his hands and his little feet yesterday.
Oh my goodness!
And this is I'm sorry, but I was, because I had the honor and the privilege of taking care of him for about 3 or 4 hours yesterday.
It is a privilege and an honor. Seriously,
his parents actually trusted me.
Come on, parents, trust it
by myself. To take care of him.
Because he's a month and 2 weeks now?
He's like a month and 2 weeks
now. Parents with a month and 2 week baby, they be like...
And so they had some things...
They hoarders.
They had some things they had to get taken care of, and they honored me with the privilege of being able to watch him by myself. And it was a beautiful thing. And you know what? When I think about it, yeah. With him, I'm in that moment.
You're in that moment.
He has my full, undivided attention.
Yeah.
It's just him and Pop.
Pop.
And we are good. But
he all on the floor. They watching Judge Judy.
We was watching Judge Judy. He's a Judge Judy fan.
He not.
He is.
He's being forced.
He has great taste.
He's being forced.
Early in life, he has great taste.
And the crazy part, he sent me a video of him watching. He was really watching it, had his little hands moving.
Yeah.
Like he had something to say to Judge Judy. I'm rebuking that. I'm going to talk to him about, when we get together, Gigi's going to talk to him about that situation. I'm just saying.
But for me, that's the biggest thing I learned about myself, that I have a problem in being. I have a problem with just being in the moment. I have a problem with appreciating the moment at hand. We've touched on this before, and I think you mentioned that you're kind of the shooter dropper person, where you're waiting for the other shoe to drop. And I think a lot of the times I spend my life that way. And and that's why it's hard for me to be, because even in a quote unquote perfect moment, I'm waiting for that, and we've touched on this before. I'm a balanced person.
Right.
I'm a yin and a yang.
Yeah.
You can't have good without evil.
Right.
You can't have light without dark. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You can't have certainty without uncertainty. There's certain things that just don't balance each other out. So for me, in that moment of a perfect moment, I'm waiting for that balance to come to shift to the unperfect moment. And so for me, it makes it very hard. And I already know you're going to rebuke that. I know. But my mind.
No, I wasn't going to rebuke anything. I was just looking at you.
It's just hard for me sometimes to be in that moment, because I'm already planning, okay, so when this shifts, what's going to be my move when this shifts?
You are a controller and a nexter.
A controller and a whore?
Nexter.
What is?
Did you say whore? Wait, did you say whore? No, come back to the microphone. He left the mic, y'all. He just left. He left. No, for real.
Why in the devil? We're in the midst of this particular conversation.
I don't know. But
I look at you lovely in your eyes. After I done told the family, you my BFF, you my bestie, you my ace boom, you my deuce and a quarter. Why would I say hoe?
No, I thought you said, and what whore? And I was like, that's not what I said.
I said who?
Okay, listen.
And
the nexter.
H-O.
You a nexter and a controller.
Who?
Controller.
Okay, I get controller. What the devil is a nexter?
Want to know what's the next thing that's gonna happen? You a nexter.
Oh, okay.
What's gonna happen next? What's gonna happen next? And I think you've done that in corporate America, and that's how you've been so successful in corporate America, because you always one up.
Right.
But I believe that you can and have been in the present. It's just that you want to control your present.
It's a strong possibility.
And you always talking about I'm the controller. I think I think we both have controlling spirits, and I just think we have different levels of what we want to control.
I get that.
I believe that.
I get that
about you. So
I get that. Okay, I can rock with that.
Yeah. So you a nexter.
Okay.
You a nexter.
I'll be a nexter.
You a nexter, which is so crazy, because when you are in the present is amazing. It is incredible. The reason why I beg to differ a lot of times, because even writing your books, you're in the present. Right? Because you're thinking of what you're gonna write, and then you're grabbing hold of a story that you already created, and bringing it back to the present to take it back. Kind of like an alpha and the omega. You're going from the end to the beginning.
Wow.
Come on,
really
somebody. Y'all saw me.
Really
did anybody see that happen?
Anyway.
Did anybody see it happen? Hear it happen.
I'm curious though. So that's me. So
Yeah.
that's what I've learned during this time of quarantine. What have you learned about yourself during time of quarantine?
I'm more creative than I think I am.
Explain.
For a long, I love speaking.
You do. You do it
I
well.
love encouraging. I love being motivating people. But I have so many girlfriends that are crazy and creative. From creative how they make food and creative making products and just creative.
Right.
And I just never. Of course, I've done spoken word, wrote music or whatever.
Zuki.
But I didn't really feel that creative. And so when I'm around people like you and your sister Mel and
Hey, sissy.
and my girlfriend Quay and all these other people who are so creative, like our sons and stuff like that, and our daughters who are very creative people, I didn't think that I was until I came home. And I wanted to create beauty. I wanted to create magic. I wanted
Right.
to create things. And I would get online, still do, all day and look at DIYs.
Yes.
And everything else. So I wanted to create stuff. And I'm so excited that I had the capability to do that. That I had the capability to create stuff that I thought I couldn't do.
You turned our patio into a beachfront.
I did. I had
is
that,
amazing.
which it was so crazy because, of course, we had that one-on-one with U-Turn Spaces, Miss Sharonda,
Right.
And we did a Zoom virtually so I could show her what I had, and she gave me the thought process, and then I ran with it, and so that was. But I really am so like crazy that I am that creative, and I learned that I can relax, which is different from you because I relax, but I didn't. I thought I relaxed.
Yeah, about to say, do you actually relax?
I thought I did relax, but during quarantine, I really relaxed.
Okay.
Because normally I'm cleaning, I'm doing this. Maybe because you're doing it all the time.
Because right now,
Maybe-
I'm not giving you a chance to.
Maybe because you're doing it.
Yeah, I'm not giving you a
But
chance to
I
do
had to
anything right
find
now.
something to clean, something to do, blah 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 blah, and I just been binging TV, which I don't do a lot of TV, so that was good for me. Like where I binge watch shows
Right.
or did something, so that was very impressive. That I realized that I didn't have to be busy being busy, because after I decluttered everything I could possibly declutter, I was quite agitated in the beginning because I didn't have anything else to declutter.
Right.
So. And see, just always tell me, babe, you just creating stuff.
Yeah, you just looking for something to do right now.
You look, he would say, sit your behind down. It wasn't really the sit your behind down like I said it, but y'all get the picture.
Nah, I said sit your ass down somewhere.
Yes, that was did you have to say it to the people?
Oh, what?
That's
family. It's family out
we
here.
family out here. But yeah, so that was something that I realized about myself.
You know something I realized kind of overall? Mm-hmm. The one thing, and I appreciate your honesty. I appreciate your vulnerability, which actually is amazing to me because I've always known how creative you were.
Really?
I've always known everything from the baskets that we used to make.
We did.
To the candies you
We
used
were
to make, to the
entrepreneurs for a
candles you used to
minute.
make. I mean, to the T-shirts you used to make, to the jewelry. To the book that you're working on. I've always known how creative you are. So the fact that you didn't know kind of strikes me odd.
I didn't think of it as creativity. I just thought that I was doing something.
Right.
I
In a
just-
creative way.
Not even in a creative way. I was just doing something. It just came to me and I just wanted to do it. Never think that I was creating anything, to be honest, or
Right.
creative, because I think it's always about your mindset.
Okay.
I think so, because me creating a patio or me making signs and stuff like that, I think my mind is always thinking that's creative. Not now the things that you just laid out for me is hysterical, because I'm not thinking those are creative things. I think
Right.
those are just things that I'm producing. I don't even know if I'm making sense when I
Nah,
just said
it's
that.
because I understand you. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
But here's one thing overall I think I've learned as well. Because when quarantine first started, I saw a lot of tweets and memes and statements and things people were putting out. Was like, during the time of quarantine, you should come out of quarantine knowing 13 different languages. You should come out of quarantine, you should have built your house. You
From the ground.
literally went out and built your house.
Got you some mud.
You should have 13 LLCs before you come out of quarantine. And initially I kind of got caught up in that. I was like, yeah, okay, so I need to be doing this, I need to be doing that, I need to be doing this. But then I realized what I had kind of like an aha moment for myself is that, and you said it best in the conversation we were having, you said right now quarantine is fasting. And so what happened is that, and for anyone who doesn't quite understand fasting, layman's terms, it's taking something away that you think you need in order to get clarity about something that that you truly need. That's kind of and you can clean that up. You know more about.
It's kind of like. It's like God gave us a spiritual fast.
Right.
That's what I believe. Since you brought that up, I'm gonna go this route, if that's okay.
Yeah,
with you,
go
sir.
that route. Go that route. And then I'm gonna finish my.
It's
thought.
like God gave us a spiritual fast, and basically, what fasting is basically abstaining from all things like juice and food and all of those
different
things.
Type of fast.
It's different type. You can do social media fast and all those things, and I felt like God gave us a full-fledged fast.
Right.
And I think when he did that, from having us sustaining from getting our hair done, busy days, our jobs, school, the need for how much clothes I got in the closet and shoes, and let me go wash my car and all those. I felt like he just shut it all, like anything that you could think of that you thought was your idol per se,
right.
He shut it down.
And so here's my thought on that. Here's why I brought that up.
Mm-hmm.
Because for me, I think that for some people, they needed to fast from being busy during this time,
Right?
Because a lot of family,
one of them,
a lot of people are so caught up in the day to day, that day to day busy, that day to day, that always on the go, always in a meeting, always has something to do, always has a task, always have a list. You know that they it's crazy because a lot of the times during my day. My regular day before quarantine, when someone would ask me, how's my day going? My first phrase was always, I haven't seen it yet. When I see it, I'll let you know.
Yeah, you did. You say that all the time.
And the reason I used to say that is because my day was such a blur because I was in meeting. I was solving problems. I had this project. I had this going on. My boss needed this. His boss needed this. It was something that somebody always needed. Somebody had a question. Somebody had a problem. Somebody needed me to think for them. Somebody, it was always something going on. And so by the time I looked up, because my typical work day started about 8:00 in the morning, so by 1:00 I hadn't seen the day yet.
Right.
And there's a lot of people out there like that. There's a lot of people who go through their day, and by the time they finish their day, they haven't seen it.
Yeah, they can't even tell you what happened.
They can't tell you what happened.
You were one of those people.
Yeah, I was one of those people. I knew that when, and we've had this conversation before, I knew that about myself when, on multiple occasions, I remembered leaving the job. I remember getting in my car, and then I was home.
Yeah.
I didn't remember the transition in between.
Because the argument was, have you had lunch? Have you less? I'm like, babe, did you have lunch? Oh, I don't know. Did I eat? Hey, babe, did you take a break? Oh, babe, I ain't got time for that right now. That was your answers for everything.
That was my answer for everything because I didn't, because there was always something transitioning.
Right.
And what I realized is that, yes, and I'm not saying it's good or bad, but yes, some people need to come out of quarantine with a business idea.
Yeah.
Because there are some people right now that's trapped behind a desk that should be an entrepreneur.
Right.
There's some people right now who's making their boss $1 million and they should be making $1 billion for their own.
And not even about not even about the money, but living to their full potential and doing their passion and what they love to do. And this has been the opportunity for them to tap into that, tap into it. So I completely, that's true.
But then on the flip side of that, there are some people who need to stop
and just rest.
There are some people who need to, in time of quarantine, they need to come out refreshed.
Yeah.
They need to come out well rested. They need to come out a couple of pounds heavier.
If that's what's needed.
If that's what's needed. They need to come out with yawn, that relaxing feeling is what they need to come out with, because leading into quarantine and before quarantine, they never saw their day.
Yeah. When we start talking about quarantine and the beginning of quarantine and talking about it being a fast, one thing that I've realized when I kept thinking about quarantine as a fast and God taking all those things away from us, and I remember in the first week of any fast, if anyone's ever fasted before, the first week you're agitated, frustrated, and you got a headache.
Oh, yeah. You will keep a headache.
Yeah. And in the quarantine time, everybody was more frustrated. They were aggravated. They had headaches. It was so intense. They had most headaches from the stress of what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
How I'm going to feed, especially if you were furloughed, how I'm going to feed my family. What am I going to do? And it went through that whole process. By the middle of quarantine, they kind of like leveled out. They were like, okay, now I know what to do. I know what triggers the headaches. I know how to relax. I'm in the mood. The things that I thought that was that important to me are not that important to me now. I don't need to have a chicken sandwich to survive. people thinking like if they don't eat, they're going to die.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It was like, okay, I don't need that chicken sandwich to survive. I can do without meat. Or if they're taking away TV, I can do without TV. So that was right in the middle, because your first beginning of your fast is like crazy. Because your body is fighting you at trying to tell you, no, this is not what we want.
Every time.
This is not what we do. I need you to remember and remind you that you should be eating, because you had those triggers. And so the same thing with the beginning of quarantine, your mind and your spirit was like, no, go outside. No, we're not going to do this. No, you're not going to shut me down until you realize there's nothing available to you.
Right.
Right. And then after that, like going towards the end, at that point, you're in a rhythm. You feel good. I don't know if people know it, but by the time you finish in the middle of your fast, you have had more energy than you ever had before. Mm-hmm. Your mind is clearer than it's ever been clear before.
Because you don't have anything cloudy.
Right. You can hear God's voice even clearer than you've ever thought about hearing him before. Things like you can make decisions. That's why a lot of people fast. They make better decisions fasting. Your body feels good, your mind and your spirit, and you become aligned. And so I think what happened was with us in quarantine, we're now in the space where we're aligned.
Right.
People are spending more time with their family. People are becoming entrepreneurs. People are learning new trades, how to be creative, learning how to rest, and understand that the shoe may never drop. So let it go and stay in the present. Like you talk about, people are learning. They are spending time with their family. Like they're doing puzzles. They're cooking together. They doing a TikTok video every 5 seconds. I mean, there's so much going on. But you got to be careful.
Yeah, you just got to be careful.
You got to be careful.
I think if nothing else, and I think this is going to be my final thought unless you have,
Yeah.
of course, I'll.
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So, actually, no. Continue then. Continue.
For your final thought?
Yeah.
I want to say the reason why, and I'm surprised, because when I said be careful, you wasn't like, be careful. Why? The only thing about fasting is how you break your fast.
Ooh, touch on that.
Because when you break your fast, you're supposed to break a fast, especially if it's let's say let's just talk about a food fast.
Right.
If you break a food fast, you're supposed to do it with like juice and vegetables and salad, food, because remember, you haven't been digesting any real foods when you're fasting, right? And so you're supposed to go easy on your digestive. Your digestive system is cleansed, it's clean, it's amazing, it's fresh, it's young again, and so you're not supposed to go full throttle. You're not supposed to eat like you ate before. You're not supposed to go ahead and go get some fried chicken, macaroni and cheese and all that, because your body can't handle that at that point. Your stomach is actually shrunk, right? And so when you do that and you go and put all that extra food in you like you used to,
right,
you normally get sick.
Yeah, you do.
Get nauseated, you get bloated, you have brain fog, all the things. So you kind of counteracted everything that you had done in your fasting by one big meal. Right? And then you keep doing it. And then your body goes back to normal. Now you sluggish. You don't know what's wrong and all those things. So when I think about that, it's the same thing that we're doing right now with this spiritual fast that God has given us, this quarantine fast that God has given us. Mm-hmm. Because just recently, the governor, whomever, said, hey, you can go back into the world now.
Right.
We open in the barbershop. We open in the stores. We open up everything. It is available to you. And people are out there going crazy. People online, I see that line at Burlington's, long line, people showing lines, people at Ross and all these other stores, and what they're doing is they're not going back into the world slowly.
Yeah, they just
rush back. They're going back for the big meal. They want their hair cut, their nails done, their feet done at any cost necessary, and they're getting sick. And they're going back to the same things that they did before. Now you're so busy trying to get outside, you're not spending the time again. You're not doing the things that you used to do. There is a learning process in this quarantine time, what I call a quarantine fast that God has given us.
Right.
Don't be so quick to rush back. What's your thoughts on it, though? Because what do you think? Like, does it make sense? Or
no, it makes perfect sense. I think what happens is that it's kind of like a little kid where you deprive them of something, and then the moment they get it, they overindulge in it.
Yeah.
Not thinking about the consequences, not thinking about what that's doing to their body or what that's doing to them.
Right.
Even emotionally or spiritually, they're just jumping right in.
Right in.
And we're not saying anything is wrong with returning to the world, but what we are saying is just be careful
Take your
in
time.
how you do it.
Yeah.
What are you really rushing to?
Right.
Because what didn't you have that
Come
you
on now.
absolutely have to have now?
Come on, Sanchez.
That you can't wait a little bit longer to ensure that everybody is okay.
Right.
Because I think what happened is that right now we got caught in what we wanted.
Right.
We got caught up in the moment of what we wanted.
Right.
And not thinking about what's best for us.
Right.
Because what's best for us as a whole is to ease back into life.
Right.
It's to ease back into getting back out in the world. It's to ease back into
Yeah.
public gatherings. It's to ease back into multiple people being gathered in one location at one time.
Right.
What's best is because right now, and I go back to my question I just asked, what are you lacking? What have you lacked that you absolutely have to have right now?
What have you lacked since you've been in the quarantine?
Yeah, what have you lacked? Because, and I know, family, I'm not naive. I know that there has been some struggles.
Right.
I know that some things have
We
happened.
know the economy needs to come back
yeah,
up. We
I
got
know
that.
I know there's been some losses that can never be gotten again, and I understand that. But for those of us who just want to want.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of us right now who just want to want.
That's it.
Because it's not a need right now for a lot of us.
Right.
A lot of us, it is simply just a want.
Yeah. And I think we have a tendency, if we're not careful, even when you're doing a food, sustaining from food and all those things, or this quarantine fast, we are so quick to get back out there that we kind of forget the benefits of the fast.
Right.
You know, there was a benefit that went on there. And of course, we're not saying there wasn't loss, because again, loss has touched us during this COVID-19. You have no idea. Far as financially and everything else, so we're not talking about that. But I'm like, Sanchez, what have you really lacked that you got to go to Ross to get? What have you really lacked? And I understand the economy need to come back and people have to have jobs, and I completely understand that. But I need you to make a true personal, not world and what the world says it's time to go back, but personally in your own home and in your own time in your spirit, what have you lacked? Don't forget the benefits of the fasting. Don't forget, the time that you had at home, that's quality time with your family. Don't forget everything that you've done, everything that you've learned, everything that you've accomplished by running back there and eating the full course meal instead of going and killing your spiritual digestive system, if that makes sense, I think. I don't know.
Nah,
but anyway,
that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
You're amazing. That makes perfect sense.
Thank you.
What's your final thought?
I think just take your time. Be easy. I know you want to go out, but be easy. Don't forget the benefits. Don't forget what you've learned in the fast and carry that with you. That's the point of the fast, is to carry those things with you and know what's really important, because half the things that we thought were important and that we had as an idol, we realize in this quarantine it is not. That we have more in our hand than we think that we do.
As always, you are amazing. I don't know what just happened with that.
I don't know. What's your voice, man?
I don't know. It just left me for a moment. As always, you are amazing.
Thank
my
you.
final
You're
thought is
amazing. I
going to
love
be.
you.
Oh, thank you. My final thought is simple. If you don't have anything else when you come out of this time of quarantine, have a better sense of self.
Yeah, come on now.
Have a better sense of who you are.
Yeah.
Have a better sense of what you actually need. Have a better sense of what you actually said it best. Have a better sense of what your purpose is.
Yeah.
And not what you think your purpose is, but after you've had a conversation, after you seek God, after you seeked His face, after you seeked His word, after you seeked what He wants for you, because
Not what the world wants.
because you have to understand something. If I didn't create it, I can't tell you what it's for. So if you bring something to me that I didn't create, I can't give you a full sense of what this product is for, of what this creation is supposed to do. So until you seek the creator, until you seek who actually placed you on this earth, you're never going to fully understand what your purpose is on this planet. So my thing is that when you come out of quarantine, when things go back to a sense of normality and the world truly opens up and you go back into your quote unquote normal life, make sure that you have a better sense of who you are.
Can I just say one more thing too when you're talking about
Go right ahead.
purpose? Because I just want to make sure that we're not just talking about purpose of yourself is not what me and Sanchez talking about. Just purpose of everything. What was the purpose of the quarantine, God? What was the purpose of this? Because I believe when you don't know the purpose of something, you will misuse it.
Yes.
And I think that we have to be careful that we don't misuse this time and what we have been given that has been a blessing. So talk to the creator. What was the purpose of this whole situation for my family, for me, for my marriage, for my children? What was the purpose? Because going back in this, I don't want to misuse the purpose. That's all I had to say.
That's wonderful. Family.
We love you guys.
Family, we love you. We thank you for once again being a part of this journey. We thank you for just tagging along. We thank you for listening. We thank you for your feedback. We thank you for your support. As always, we consider ourselves an interactive podcast.
We are. Thank you, guys.
We're on the socials. We're on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all in the Crenshaw Corner.
We are.
We have an email address of thecrenshawcorner at gmail.com.
Yes.
You can listen to us in a variety of different ways. We're on iTunes. We're on Podbean. We're on Spotify.
We are.
We're on Google Play Music.
Come on now.
You also can go to our website at www.thecrenshawcorner.com
and binge.
Once again, our website is
It's the W.
www.thecrenshaw.com. And family, as always, welcome to our journey.
We love you guys. Bye.